hat. With the yarn that I have left, I thought to knit an interweave cowl. So I'm not gonna show you again what to do, all the steps, because it's similar to the hat. I'm just gonna talk about the differences, and they are the following. I've used for knitting only the 325 millimeters needles, number 3 US, because for the hat I used smaller because we need the ribbing to be tighter than the rest of the hat, and for the cowl I did the opposite. I want it to be looser, so I've used only these needles, and I started the pattern with 96 stitches plus 1 for joining the round. So for the hat we started with 64 plus 1, so that when we start the pattern the ribbing is tighter. Start with 96 plus 1. Use only 325 millimeter needles. So I did only 14 rounds of ribbing, not 19 like for the hat, and then 3 repeats of the pattern in height. After the 3 repeats of the pattern I did 2 decrease rounds, and then after that round 67, the last of the pattern rounds, the decrease rounds, I did 15 rounds of ribbing for the upper part. I'm going to show you what I have in the finished result. So here we have 32 centimeters, that's a half, so 64 total. And then in the upper part we have 19, so that means 38. So and in height, I'm going to show you the height. In height that's 21 and a half, and then we're going to just bind off. So I thought that I need something stretchy, and not long ago I found a very good method of binding off and having a stretchy finished result. So that's Laurie's Twisty Bind Off by Lorraine L, and it's very easy to do, and the result is amazing. So I'm going to show you how to use that bind off method for the brioche. I'm using, for knitting, I'm using short 40 centimeters needles. So I'm going to do like this, because we need this needle to be like this with no stitches, and we start with the knit stitch, and then just like Lorraine says, we have to twist the stitch, and if the next stitch that we have to knit is a purl stitch, we have to twist the stitch counterclockwise, so like this, and then we just purl the stitch, and then slip the first stitch, pass the first stitch over, just like in the usual bind off, and then when we have a knit stitch we have to twist the stitch clockwise and knit the stitch and then pass over. So the secret is that before we knit the stitch we twist the stitch that we have on the needle, and I repeat, if it's a purl stitch we do it counterclockwise like this, and then purl the stitch and pass over. And if it's a knit stitch, the next that we have on the needle, we do it clockwise. So, and then knit the stitch and pass over. So I have a little piece here, and I'm gonna show you that it's a perfect bind off for this brioche rib in the end. It looks very nice, and I love it that it's so stretchy and it stretches out and then comes back together, so it's perfect. About the yarn, I'm using the same as for the hat, and this is the yarn that I have left after knitting the cowl. So it's kind of, you can do both from 2 skeins of yarn. From 200 grams of yarn you have leftovers like this.